Good morning, everybody. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. I kind of was getting lost in the stitching and forgot I had turned the video on. Welcome to Jan Hicks Creates, where today we are working on Luz Gonzalez. This is a Spanish Colonial reproduction sampler, 1851, published by Samplers Remembered. I fell in love with this the moment I saw it at the Attic Needle Workshop in Mesa, Arizona. You know, I'm not much of a sampler person. You guys know that, the traditional samplers, but these kind of more non-traditional, kind of bandy with all this satin Bargello type stitching. Look at those flowers. I mean, this is just such a stunning piece. So I'm working here on the leaves. The fabric, I thought it was a 40 count. This is the fabric that Nancy from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop dyed for the Eliza Bell Cox stitch along that Julie Gulf Coast Stitches kind of started, monitored, what's the word I'm looking for, sponsored. Not sure what the word is I'm looking for. I didn't want to do Eliza Bell Cox. I did get the thread pack and the fabric though from Victorian Motto. Number one, I love the threads, but I also wanted to see what her fabric was like. And so this is the piece for that, and it just happened to be the perfect size and the perfect color for Luz whenever Luz came along, when Luz entered my life. I am pretty sure that, I think I've been off camera this whole time, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that this is a 40 count, that's what I remember. But boy, does it seem smaller than Grace. You know, Grace, my Grace Quaker sampler, that's a 40 count. And this just seems like the squares are a lot smaller. Maybe I just have to get used to 40 count again after stitching on 28 a lot yesterday. I don't know. But anyways, I love this piece. Look at that. Isn't that just... Now, this was kind of a pain to work after a while. I was ready to be done with this. But holy cow, looking at it now, and it's... oh. And I am using a Vera Soie or Soie d'Alger, one of the two. I think it's Soie d'Alger silk. And oh, just gorgeous. So let me show you yesterday's progress. As you know, yesterday I was working on two different ones, and I kind of came up with a rotation for it that ended up being kind of fun. So my first one, sorry for all the shuffling around here. My first one was Louise and Henry from Little House. And I did get the grass done. And the second one is the Mushrooms Botanica from Elisa Oknias, one of the Russian designers. And I got, let's see, I got the underside of this mushroom done. I had all these purples and blues to fill in here. And then I got this teal here, the teal here, and then all of this done here. Look at that pretty blend there with the purple and the teal. The teal is the same as this one here, and then the purple. Isn't that pretty? I love the way these colors are looking on this blue fabric. Hold on a second. I feel like my throat hasn't woken up yet this morning. Speaking of which, it's 8:06 a.m. here, May 23rd, day 23 of Stitch Mania, 74 going up to 82. Another gorgeous day on the island. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. And what I did with these, I decided to do a rotation. And so I worked a length of thread on this, a length of thread on this, and a length of thread on my small, a length of thread on this, a length of thread on this, a length of thread on my small, and just did that. I had quite a bit of time yesterday to stitch, so as you can see, I did get a lot done. I'm very, very pleased with how that worked. I may do that again today with Luz, going back and forth between Luz and my small, because I feel like I got a lot done. I may work 2 strands on Luz though, because, well, number one, I use smaller cuts of silk, although this particular one, I feel like this is too long, but I do try and use smaller cuts of silk so it doesn't wear as much through the fabric. I mean, look how tiny. Stop that. Look how tiny these stitches are. Compared to these. So this is a 28 count and this is 40 count. Yeah. So much fun though. I love it all. So I feel like I have so much to talk to you guys about. I have started taking notes of things I want to talk to you about in these videos. Kind of like carrying on the conversation. So I mentioned something yesterday and I get responses from it and I want to respond back or clarify or continue the conversation. So I've started to take notes for my Stitch With Me, and my list just keeps getting longer and longer. But that's okay because I still have, I'm only on the L's, right? And no, L does not stand for hoity-toity, Carolyn. I can't help it. I love to tease her. She's my friend. Okay, so let me see where I'm going next. Okay. First and foremost, I had a conversation on Facebook. Well, I read a comment from one of our dear people in our cross stitch community. I'm not going to use her name because I don't know whether she'd want me to. And she is struggling with her weight like all of us are. And, oh, and yes, I did get my workout done yesterday, day 3. So today is day 4. Keep cheering me on. But anyways, I suggested that she join the Facebook group, the Floss Tube Fit Club, that I've mentioned on here before. And her response was, but I don't make floss tube videos. And I was just like, stop. And this is a message to all of you, because I've heard similar type of comments from some others. It's like those of you that are part of the community that do not make videos feel like you are somehow lesser, like you are not as important as those of us who do make videos. And I just want you to stop it. Where would we be if we didn't have people to watch our videos? Now, granted, some of us make these just to be kind of a diary of our stitching, and that's fair. But really, I've said it before, for me, this is about the interaction. This is about the community. I don't want to just sit here and talk to myself. I'm good at it, which is a rather disturbing thought to begin with, but that's aside. I want to talk to you. And if you're not there listening and responding and interacting, What fun would this be? You know, we all live in our own little bubbles, I guess. So many of you say that I don't have anybody around me that stitches, so I really appreciate these times with you, meaning me. And that's how I am too. Now I do have discovered, Dee and Christina and Aaron, and that is wonderful. But up until this point, I really haven't had anybody else. And so you guys are my stitching community. You are my group. And if you weren't there listening, that's what makes this. So stop belittling the fact that you don't make videos. I would say, I don't know for sure because I don't know everybody that makes videos, but I would say 95% of the people that comment on my videos do not make them. Some of you have started, some will never will. That is fine. It's the connection. I have more connection with people. I've connected with more of you that don't make videos than that do, because you're the ones that comment on my videos. You're the ones that I interact with. You're the ones that I've gotten to know by name, who have shared information with me, who have shared your lives with me, who have shared your pictures with me. I mean, it's just stop. Okay. That's all of that for today. Well, except for maybe at the end. Who knows? I never know where I'm really going with these. But I do have notes. So let me look down at my pattern first. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? More on the plastic bags. A couple other people that commented. Maria mentions that she puts her patterns into like the page protectors, the sheet protectors like you get at an office supply store. And so not only is that protecting the pattern more, it's keeping it separated from the vinyl. It's also keeping it a little bit more separated from the materials. So in that sense, she feels like it's more protected. Not only is it the pattern protected from getting more crumpled and wrinkled, but hopefully it's protected from sticking to the vinyl on the front or anything else within the package. And also those sheet protectors, I assume they're made of a material where things wouldn't stick, because they're made for sticking printed copy in, right? So anyways, thank you for that tip, Maria. That's a good idea. And then Chris commented again. She is the one that had commented the other day that I said I hadn't gotten back. I meant to look at her comment again and I hadn't gotten back to it. She commented again and said, yes, it was me that commented. Hold on, I'm having trouble finding this hole. And I do have my light on here today, just because I was having trouble seeing this without it. But Chris commented that it was her. She had been working on a blue and white quilt cross-stitch design from 20 years ago. Life happened, like I said, and she hadn't picked it up for 20 years. So when she picked it back up, shoot, see the trouble I'm having with this? When she picked it back up, let's see. She says the white Aida was fine, and the blue flosses were fine, and the white floss that was still on the skein was fine. It was just the white that had already been stitched that had turned yellow. Now I asked her a question whether the fabric with the white stitches had been up against the plastic or not. I'd be curious to know that. It may also be a fact that the vinyl that was used in these bags 20 years ago, that the BPAs, you know, they've removed a lot of the nasty chemicals from plastics these days. But I don't know whether that's only food grade plastic. I just don't know. So it is, and I'd be interested to know just where in relation to the plastic the stitching was too, if it was right up against the plastic or not. So, you know, stuff does happen. As somebody said, I certainly wouldn't leave it sitting out in a hot car, like someplace in the South where it gets really hot and humid. So that kind of like, if you do have a car project that you keep in the car, you might want to take it into the house with you every evening. Maria also, different Maria, but Maria commented, let me find her comment, because she had some good, and this is also the way you think about yarn too. You want it to breathe. So like my good friend Laura down at A Good Yarn, she is a master weaver spinner. I've mentioned her before. She was in charge of all of the fiber that came in for spinning, and the bags we used were drawstring. We never closed up the fiber into an enclosed bag, into like a zippered bag or a sealed bag of any sort, because the fibers need to breathe. And Maria says it's the same for these type of fibers too. It's better for them if they breathe, so that so the chemicals don't get trapped. You know, whatever chemicals there may be, they don't get trapped in with all of your fabric and floss. So all good points. Very interesting. I wanted to show you, talking about needles, several of you have talked about like the different types of needles you used. Somebody mentioned Japanese needles and asked if I had ever used Japanese needles. I don't honestly know, because I don't know what a Japanese brand is. So if you guys would let me know if you've used Japanese needles, what they are, where you find them, I would be interested to know that. So this is what I have for my needles. I have 2 of these. I have had them since I started stitching. So, you know, 30 years or more. One of them, the hinge is broken. But this is what I mean. This is my needles. I have 2 of these packed full. I had been taking all of my needles out of whatever packaging and just putting them in here. So different brands, different styles, different lengths. The only ones that I've kept separate are my Pat Carson's, Pat's Favorite needles. I got this sweet little piece from, this sweet little holder from PJ Stitcher, Pam, who I met at the Stitching Post the one time. She's a fellow Maryland stitcher. And so I keep my Pat's Favorite needles. Actually, that isn't one of those. Something else straight in there. And most of those needles are actually in projects somewhere. So this is why I don't have a clue what I have. Yeah, 2 of those. I also thought I'd show you, in looking for a needle the other day, I was looking through these and I thought, you know, I should show you guys these. So I have all the needle bits and pieces that were my mother's and grandmother's. Whoa, don't lose that. So this is an old bandage case, right? From years and years and years ago. And my grandmother kept her little needle, and she did obviously keep all of her packages, and I just thought you'd get a kick out of seeing these. So this is from England. Finest silver steel. The Penny Made brand. Again from England. Made of the highest quality Sheffield steel. Perfect eyes, perfect points. I think there's something other than betweens in here, but these have never been used, I don't think, and you can see they're in perfect condition. And these are probably, well, I don't even know, 40s, 50s. 10 cents for Colonial needles, embroidery 510s. Again, made in England from the best Sheffield steel. Nice little needle case there, needle book. Again, perfect, perfect condition. Oh, this little tag was on here. I would love, if anybody knows what these needles are used for. Some of them have fallen out, but there's a lot more in here. I don't know whether these are like for upholstery. These aren't in the best of shape. These are starting to rust. But, I mean, they're long and they're thick. You can see they're at a very blunt point. Are these like upholstery needles? I'd like to know if anybody knows what those are. And then I have this package, 50 gold eye darners, embroidery, betweens, and sharps. Got from Murphy's for 29 cents. That one was probably my mother's. I think this is one I actually got when I tried to quilt many, many moons ago. And then this package, 12 automatic self-threading needles. I've never been able to get these to work. I cannot get the thread to go down in between. So how funny is that? Now those are made in Japan. So lower eye may be threaded the standard way. Anyways, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. A little walk down memory lane there. Yes, I keep them all. All right, so I'm going to change colors, and I actually pre-threaded another needle for this, switching to dark green. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I'm on 23 minutes. I wanted to comment, just one more comment. I have a bunch more. Oh, wait, let's see. Yeah, a disclaimer. So, the reason I laughed at Carolyn and Hoity Toity is because she is once again being enabled by me. Sorry, not sorry, Carolyn. She's starting to kid up Hoity Toity, and she wants to work with my color conversion. One of the dangers of my color conversions is that I do use a lot of Victorian Motto sampler shop threads. And the problem with that is pretty much all of what Nancy dyes are like one off. Get this in a better position. Meaning, you know, she dyes colors for the clubs, or she dyes it for the various packs that she does. You know, she does so many gorgeous coordinated sets. But once those are gone, they're gone. It's not like the General Arts or Weeks where they're always dyeing the same colors. She creates and she moves on. So when I put my color conversions out there, chances are very likely that you aren't going to be able to find that same color. What I did for Carolyn yesterday is I took pictures of the ones that she needed and sent her the pictures so she could go to the other companies and look for something similar. And really, that's good enough. You know, you don't need to have the exact color necessarily. If you get something close that's going to give you that look, then that's fine. There are some things that, you know, I'm not going to mess with the color on. This piece being one of them. But for the most part, if you're looking to get a certain look, you know, if the reason you love something is, and a spam call came in, but if the reason you love something is because of the colors, those exact colors are the only thing that will make you happy, then yes, you are going to try and use the called for. If you like the design, but realize that other colors would work just as well, then change them. And again, for my color conversions, if you can't find that exact color, one of the other companies is going to have something that's similar enough that will work. Anyways, I just wanted to say that so that, and if anybody else, like if you want to use one of my color conversions, and I have used a Victorian motto, and you want me to take a picture, message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll be happy to do that for you. Now, speaking of colors, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to end for the day. Somebody had asked me what colors, which of the sulky colors are used in the Leeds House sampler. It is hard to find the Rosewood Manor. This is the Leeds House sampler collection. I don't know whether Sulky is still putting them together and selling them or not. So I'm going to go through the color numbers here for this person and whoever else might be interested. So we have, and these all start with 712. I don't know what their 712 indicates. Probably the 12 weight. Anyways, 1283, 1143, 1177, 4055, 1222, and 4051. Those are the 6 colors in the Leeds House sampler, used for the Leeds House sampler. Anyways, guys, I think that's all today. Like I said, I'm going to try and do the rotation today. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow, I will be working on Midsummer Garden. This is the piece that I got from XG Designs. So it's using the XG Designs fabric and floss. It's buried under there. So that's another just gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And you can get this piece from her Etsy shop, XG Design Etsy shop. But anyways, that is tomorrow. For today, we'll see how much of the gorgeous rose I can get done. Till then, love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, like I said, knew I was going to say it, you are an important part of this community. FlossTube would be nothing without you watching it. I love you. I love our interactions. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.